Meeting is called to order. Um, First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
I move.
Any objections or discussion, additions, changes?
Nope. Motion to approve.
Hearing none. Okay, a second.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimously approved. The next is approval of the minutes of September 8, 2025. Any discussion, comments, changes? Okay, hearing none. Any motion to approve?
Yeah, I'll motion to approve.
All
the minutes.
right, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously approved. All right, the next item on the agenda is the public forum. Is there anyone who would like to make comments that is not, who is not already on the agenda in a different spot? All right, I see and hear no individual wishing to come forward at this point. The next item is the certificate of appropriateness for 704 Kellogg Avenue. Ray, do you want to go ahead at this point or, okay.
Yes,
All
yeah,
right, thank you.
yes. This is a request to demolish the existing garage at this location. It's listed as a contributing structure in the Old Town Historic District, and so to demolish it, must first receive approval from the Historic Preservation Commission. And the commission may permit demolition after you have considered factors specified in the ordinance that will decide whether you believe the structure is in such a condition that it that you can approve it for demolition. This structure is at 704 Kellogg. And you saw this property back in August when there was a new garage proposed and approved by the commission. That the lot is in this location. It's this is Kellogg to the west and 8th Street to the south. There's one lot between this one and 8th Street.
It's 7th Street, right? 7th Street.
Alley behind.
Isn't it 7th Street, not 8th Street?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, 7th Street. There's an alley behind. And so on the next item, we'll talk more about the new garage. But for this one, the demolition, the factors to consider, the applicant in her narrative has described that the architectural integrity has been compromised due to changes in window openings, suspected removal of pedestrian doors, and loss of original material due to deterioration. And then also that the structural condition is in question with bowing walls, lack of a foundation, rotted wood, and integrity of the roof system compromised, creating a life safety hazard. And she has included a report from an architect that gives some options for what could be done with the structure, all the way from restoring it to demolishing it. And then also there's a letter included from Dan Gorman Construction, a contractor who believes that the structure is not salvageable. So I'll show you a few pictures that are in your report. This is the front of the garage facing Kellogg. And you can see the doors here. If you look closer, you'll see, and you can see some rotting and misalignment of the doors. You can see that better in this picture. where you see how the latch on those front doors, this should be up here, or this should be down here, one of the, or maybe in between. Anyway, they should line up. So the doors have shifted. The south wall of the garage, it's hard to show a bowing wall in a picture, but if you go out there and look at it, which I did, you can see how the wall is bowing on the north and the south. And then there's rotting here along the bottom. It appears that there used to be a door here. And here's a close-up of that rotting wood near the ground level. And the reason why that's rotting is because there is no foundation. There is a concrete floor in the garage, but oh boy, this is hard to see on the screen here. But the south wall is shifted 10 inches further south than the edge of the concrete floor. So the walls aren't even supported by the concrete. This one you can see the roof is bowing. Again, it's hard to see in a picture, but if you go out there, you can see that there's areas that are kind of cupped in the roof, and the integrity of the roof is in question. And then again, the wall is bowing here. If you look at the back side of the garage, the east wall, you can see there's some openings that they've closed off. It looks like this used to be a window. This was probably a door access, but at least this one has changed over time. I'm not sure about this one. And then again, with the north wall, it's bowing. You can't hardly tell that here in this picture, but it is bowing. So getting back to those factors to consider, the factors to consider have to do with the historical significance. Is it a contributing garage? And there is a Iowa site inventory sheet in your packet that's documented that it is historically significant. So I believe it'd be difficult to say that the garage can be torn down because it's not historically significant. They've made a case for that with the Iowa site inventory forms. Then there's the architectural integrity, which is another factor. And that talks about removal or alteration of door window openings, installation of artificial siding, which is not the case here, alteration of the original building footprint, which again is not the case, and then loss of original materials due to removal or deterioration. Well, the original materials are deteriorating. A third factor is functionality. The existing garage in its current condition does not really, says staff views it, does not provide for a functional use or purpose. The condition is such that it would be dangerous to park in there if you're going to park a vehicle in there, because the roof and the walls are bowing and not stabilized. So although it's large enough to accommodate one vehicle, it's not in any condition to be used for that. Now, if you use it for storage, again, you'd still have to do a lot of work to it, put a lot of money into it to get it to a place that it's safe to walk into. So in terms of functionality, it has deteriorated significantly to the point that it's really not functional anymore. The structural condition, as you've seen with the pictures, with the bowing walls and the lack of a foundation, the rotted wood, the integrity of the roof system, all those are part of structural condition. And all those are weak points in terms of the condition of this structure and would support demolition. And for relocating the property, the detached garage elsewhere on the property, that's the last factor. Could it be relocated as opposed to demolishing it? Well, with the condition it's in, it'd be very difficult to move it and have it hold together in order to be used on another portion of the site. So in evaluating the different factors as they apply to this structure, staff believes that we would recommend that you approve a certificate of appropriateness to allow demolition of the structure.
Any discussion or questions?
Well, it's in sad shape.
Yeah.
I'd be concerned about whether or not, it could support a snow load. So I think it's probably a hazard in the neighborhood. You'd hate to have somebody's kids playing around over there and have the thing go down.
Any,
I don't have any objection to approving the demolition. I'm just wondering, is any attempt going to be made to preserve some of that siding? Maybe give it to somebody? Or is that just too much work for what it's worth?
You can ask the applicant about that.
It'd be a lot of work for what it's worth, and it's warped,
Yeah,
oh,
probably
and
compromised.
it probably has lead paint.
lead paint,
Oh,
Probably not worth the effort.
yeah.
And
Any other questions or discussion? All right, is there a motion to approve the alternative one for demolition?
I move.
second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. And now we'll go on to the modification of previous approval for a new detached garage.
This is that garage I spoke about a few minutes ago that was approved in August with access off the alley. It's a 24 by 24 garage. And at the time, they were proposing a driveway from the alley to the front of the garage that would be 20 feet in length. And they'd like to make that 24 to make sure that vehicles don't interfere with the travel through the alley and allow for some more maneuvering area. Oh boy, these just don't show up very well. Too dark. And then the other change besides moving the garage further west by 4 feet is to switch the location of a window and a door. So there's 2 windows that were approved for the south side. No, I'm sorry, 1 window and a door approved for the south side. And she would like to put the door on the west side. There were 2 windows approved on the west side. I'm sorry. 1 window on the west side. She wants to replace it with a door and then take that window and put that on the south side.
Mhm.
So it's just switching around the location of doors and windows. And then the door that they had proposed was one they were trying to retrofit from the house to use on the garage, but it's about 1 inch too short.
Mhm.
And so now they're proposing a new door in its place, a fiberglass door, which is allowed. So there'd be a fiberglass door on the west and then 2 windows on the south. And that's the only changes they're proposing. So they're fairly minor. And our recommendation as staff is for approval.
Okay, any questions, discussion, comments?
No.
Hearing none, I will make a motion to approve the modification in alternative 1. Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimously approved. Okay, thank you, Ray. Then we're moving on to the subcommittee report on energy efficient windows. Who wants to take that?
I thought Melissa was going.
Who's going to be Melissa tonight?
Do we need to wait for Melissa
Or
to
do
be
we
here?
need
to
to-
No, I mean, we can talk about it. I don't know, Ray, if you had anything that you were going to add on this one at all, or if it's just purely for us to discuss what we've talked about in our subcommittee.
Parker Walsh is a new planner for us, and he checked with a couple other cities. You want to tell them what you found, Parker?
And just to cue it up for the rest, as a reminder, it was Bob, Melissa, and I met as a subcommittee. We were primarily focusing on windows, since that's something that we put in our work plan for the year, and kind of analyzing the ordinance here and seeing what we could do to give more options to homeowners in the Old Town District to actually put in some energy efficient windows. So that's kind of what the underlying topic is.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, for the triple pane, double pane requests that we received in our research, we did not find any community or the MPS recommend triple pane. It's mainly about preserving the historic character in the windows that are there and really preserving the windows that are in place right now long-term. Did not find in our research that triple pane would be recommended. As for the coding request,
Wait, is that because, I'm sorry,
go ahead.
why are they not recommended?
The purpose, I guess, of the historic preservation is to preserve the historic character of the house. And so by going to a new modern approach on a triple pane, that would remove the historic character of the house is what we found was the reasoning for most communities we talked to.
Okay, how about double pane?
Double pane was mentioned. It's still recommended to really preserve what's there today and the historic nature of the windows, but double pane, at least in one community, was an option if the windows were completely deteriorated and could not be preserved.
I maybe have a dumb question. What if the city's energy efficiency goals collide with the city's historic preservation goals? How does that get resolved?
Good question.
In our research, we did find or hear from other historic preservation planners in the communities that there are many ways to still provide that energy efficiency that could compete with a modern day triple pane. It just wouldn't be a triple pane window. It could be storm windows or other small features to preserve or to enhance sustainability, but still preserve that historic character of the window.
When you're looking at one of these older buildings, can you tell from the street whether it's single pane or double pane? I mean, it would look the same, right?
I believe that you could see the significant changes from some historic properties versus a triple pane. It would really depend on the property.
Okay, I'm
Generally,
talking
I
about-
think a triple pane, you would recognize that.
Okay, double pane though. Because that's
Again,
more common.
according to the other historic preservation experts we spoke to, that really just depends on the nature of the house and the character. Double pane may be reasonable in certain situations, but triple pane was not an option in the communities we spoke with.
Okay, because I don't see much difference between a fiberglass door and a double pane window. they both change the materials of the original structure. And if you can't tell the difference, then why not? Assuming one is more energy efficient.
It would probably be difficult to tell the difference between single pane and double pane from the street. Triple pane, if you looked at it from the edge, it may project out further. What do you think, Scott? You would project out further?
I mean, it's a thicker window, yes, but it kind of would be a case by case basis. I mean, depending on it so much depends on how the structure was built and where the original window was actually placed within that wall. If you have room, obviously you'd probably try and make the window grow towards the inside, not the outside, so that you'd still have the same expression outside. But, if the window was built pretty flush or close to inside, then obviously you would have to grow the other way. So it'd be pretty case by case on windows. I think, we recommended double or triple be approved. Ultimately, I mean, even just having doubles would be a lot more than what some residents are getting currently in the Old Town District, and would improve greatly over a, single pane window. So, I mean, I think we'd be open to giving on that. But I guess when it comes to double pane windows, there's multiple manufacturers out there that are making windows that are comparable or, look like historic windows. They do it all the time. So I think really there's plenty of options there in which somebody could replace their window and still have it maintain the same appearance that their original window did. And again, I think it goes back to the balance of, yes, our ordinance is written and it's nice that we're trying to maintain all of the original materials and whatnot, but we're trying to balance that too with allowing people in our community, specifically the historic district, to be able to put some windows on their building that are going to keep their furnace from running as much. It's just comfortability of living in the house would be better if they have a double pane window, and we don't want to just restrict them from doing so, I guess. So there's a little bit of a balance there. Then I think the question starts like with what's been highlighted in the ordinance here. It starts coming down to, the way everything's worded is, you're supposed to maintain the historic materials unless they've deteriorated beyond the point of being salvageable or repaired. And then you're going to start getting, if you say, well, you can only do it then if they've deteriorated to that point, and then you can put in a double pane window. Well, then you're going to start running into, the gray area of, well, my window's fine right now and I want to replace it. And we say no to that. Then people just say, okay, well, I'm not going to take care of the window until it's deteriorated to the point that you'll allow me to put in a insulated glazing unit, and so I think what we're trying to do is get out ahead of some of that and just say, hey, you know what, if somebody wants to improve the energy efficiency of their home by having an actual insulated window, let's give them the framework to do so and to do it appropriately.
Are there any estimates on what the depth difference would be between a single pane, double pane, triple pane?
Yeah, I mean, a standard insulated glazing unit is 1 inch thick, like the glass, face of glass to face of glass. Obviously, with the single pane window, it depends on the glass they use, but you're talking a 1/4 inch, probably pane of glass.
And then if you put a storm window over that, then that makes
Yeah,
the
that would
whole
make it deeper. Yep.
unit deeper.
Mhm.
But then, okay, so the difference between double and triple would be just like another 1/2 inch or less?
Thereabouts, you're probably talking a 1/2 inch spacer plus another 1/4, so you're probably another 3/4 inch that you're
3/4.
putting on.
So,
So you're
and
talking like 1/4 inch single pane, 1 inch double pane, and up to 1 3/4 on a triple pane. But
Okay.
and again, there we could give on that. Most people building new homes don't put a triple pane window in, so even if you can have doubles, that would be
double
fine.
would be the more usual.
Yeah, that's
choice.
your standard window. Mhm.
I just like to say that I don't think it's simple matter to add a storm window wherever
Right.
you want to.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know how those, if those meet the energy
They,
standards.
that storm window doesn't give you
Does
any
not.
thermal performance because with the insulated glazing unit, that's what a double pane window is. Those are actually sealed, so they vacuum out the air between the two pieces of glass, and that's what's insulating. It doesn't allow heat to transfer through there, whether it's out of your house or into your house. When you put a storm window on, there's still air in there, so heat just transfers right through.
Okay.
And the cost for people to get custom-made storm windows for their homes is cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
People, unless they have them already, they won't do it.
Well, and by the time you do that, you could put that money towards the double insulated
Yep.
and then get better energy efficiency too. So, okay. Any other questions or discussion? Are we voting on this tonight, or are we gonna?
Well, what you would do if you can either, discuss it some more next meeting, or you can refer in a letter to the city council what changes you'd like to see be done to the code, and then the council will consider that and decide whether or not to direct staff to make those changes.
I
To prepare
suggest,
an ordinance.
referring them to the city council. I think they're good recommendations, and that will get to the point where the city council can adjudicate how strongly they feel about the historic preservation guidelines versus the energy efficiency goals, because they're the ones who are going to have to decide it anyway. And I think the recommendations are very good. I
Yeah.
don't know, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
I like them personally, having put in replacement windows in my house. I was able to find historically appropriate windows that were double insulated. And so I think these make a lot of sense. I would,
Yeah. And Melissa's already started on a draft of
And-
what we would potentially propose. Obviously, I think we would need to get approval of that wording and proposal by all of us before it goes to the city.
okay, so.
So that
maybe-
leads me, if I'm thinking Ray, that'd probably be right, that like if essentially if we can next meeting have Melissa's draft, that way we can read it and then vote on approving it or any
Yeah.
amendments to it, and then we can actually vote as a group on it going there. And one thing in there too, some of it, obviously we were looking at trying to be able to have, a double pane or an insulated glazing unit. We also picked through some language or some recommendations of adding some definitions and editing a little bit in here too, just because everywhere you flip through here, it just uses the word pane, but never defines it. And when you get into like the, what chapters would it be? Like the design criteria, where it starts going through like Italianate style, Queen Anne style,
Yeah.
etc. And it will start talking in there about panes and divisions of them. It's talking about what I would call lights in it. Like this door over here has 9 lights in it. You can see it's divided up. It's actually 9 pieces of glass in there versus this is calling those panes,
Right.
but it's also referring to panes as the actual horizontal plane of that it's one thickness of glass. So we think it would be beneficial to actually put the definition of here of what a pane is, what a light is, and be consistent with the language. That way it's not confusing when you go to the design criteria here and it's like, oh, well, this says 2 panes of glass. Does that mean I get a
Right. Yeah.
insulated glazing unit?
Yeah.
Well, no, they're actually talking you should have that divided
Right,
into 2
right,
lights,
right.
So
I like
trying to
that.
clean that up a little
Yeah,
bit.
I like that specificity.
Hmm.
Okay, so then we'll wait for Melissa and the subcommittee and take this up again in November. And I will be absent in November. But Melissa hopefully will be here as vice chair. And I have no objection with what I've seen so far. And I can only imagine that will stay the same.
So at the meeting on November 10th, we could review Melissa's letter,
Mhm.
hopefully approve it, be good with it, and then ask Ray to forward it to the city council at that meeting. Right? Is that right?
I think
Yeah,
that's the
okay,
intent,
that'd be great.
unless we decide, oh, actually, we want to make some amendments to it
Right.
if it's not ready to go, but that would be the,
Okay, great.
Because our subcommittee hasn't met since before the last,
yeah, we
Commission
didn't
meeting
meet this
here.
past month. It was the
So-
month before.
Okay.
we need to
Yep.
meet again and get something
Mhm.
definite down in writing.
Yep.
And even on the rules, I think,
Mhm.
what definitions we want.
Yep.
Changes.
Sounds like a plan. And then any comments on the subcommittee report on guidelines for infill of windows? Or was that part of this discussion?
It was kind of wrapped into the same
Okay, anything additional
discussion
on
for the
that?
most part. I don't know if we have anything
Particular?
additional really to hit on today on that.
So,
Oh, that was, okay, it's, sorry, I just jogged
I
my
just was
memory
just
there.
looking at it.
So it's kind of related to, one of the previous, certificate of appropriatenesses that we did, is kind of what drove this, where there was kind of a gray area on like, if you can take out existing windows and, skin over it with the existing cladding of the house versus not and all of that. And there wasn't a lot of direct language in the ordinance saying whether you could or you couldn't. So that's what we were looking at there, is providing some more definitive language on what is allowed and what isn't allowed in terms of removing an existing window and what can go back in that window's place and whatnot. So that's kind of the topic
okay.
that was being discussed there.
Would you recommend we follow the same course of action then with that topic
Yeah.
as we have with the energy efficiency of
Yep.
windows? Okay, any objection to that at all? Okay, we'll go ahead and refer that issue to the next agenda then.
So then Melissa will prepare a draft of a
Yeah, I
memo.
think our subcommittee will probably just meet one more time this month, Bob, Melissa, and I, just to
Yeah.
do our own internal review of the draft Melissa has now, make sure we're all feeling good about it, and then we'll have her send that to you, obviously, so it
Yeah.
can be in the packet
Put in the
for,
packet, have it on
the meeting
agenda
next month.
for the commission to discuss and decide whether you want to send it on.
Excellent. All right, moving on to commission comments. I have just a brief comment that, a reminder that Ames, A Glimpse Inside tour of historic buildings and homes is this coming Saturday. And there is information available in various places, including the Ames History Museum website. We're still looking for volunteers, so if anyone would like to take a few hours and share the history of the building and Ames. Kate, do you have any additional comments you'd like to make about the?
I would just say, I think it's going to be a really interesting and fun event, because some of these buildings you don't normally get to get into. The post office is really graciously allowing people to go back and see behind the counter to see how the post office operates. They're even, doing that after their own working hours. So they're really bending over backwards for this. The Tribune building, which used to, publish the Pulitzer Prize winning award paper, is going to let people in to see what that building is like. And AVEC, which has been beautifully restored, some really interesting features, is going to be there. So there are lots of really interesting properties that, aside from this event, you may never get into to see. So I would really encourage people, if you have the time on Saturday, to think about coming to this free event. It's from 10 to 3 on Saturday. You can find information downtown on the HM website, et cetera. And if you'd like to just get a little bit more in detail about some of these properties, please volunteer. I think the Tribune especially is looking for 1 or 2 more people to be inside there. And so to be able to stand inside the Tribune building and really at your leisure, look around and see it and think about the history that happened there. It's a really unique opportunity.
Absolutely. There's also information on the KHOI website as well, which is also on the tour.
Yeah, right.
That's got some fascinating history behind it. And a unique little turret decoration on top. And so lots of surprises and interesting things that most really haven't heard. So anything, any other commission comments at all? No? All right. Staff comments?
Yeah, the National Register nomination for Chautauqua Park and Ridgewood, it went to the State Nominations Review Committee meeting last Friday morning, and they recommended that it be listed on the National Register. They recommended to the National Park Service. They do have a few changes to make
Okay.
before it goes on, but the consultant the city has hired will be making those changes, and then it will be sent on
That's
to the
great.
National Park Service. So that's exciting.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yep. And let's see. The work plan for next year. Did we want to have that on the agenda for October? To
This is
start
October.
Talk, I mean, not October, I mean, November, to start talking about the work plan?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
we'll put that on the agenda for November.
I think just like this year, the subcommittee did great work on some really good changes, I think, to Chapter 31. We should be mindful as to whether there's anything else in Chapter 31 that we think we ought to help out and look at. So that might be something to keep in mind.
So we'll probably just bring the work plan and then let you, discuss it and decide how you'd like to change it, to get started on that.
Great. Okay. Any other comments?
Next meeting will be my last meeting.
What?
I am retiring.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
Wow, Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I hope you're excited about this.
Oh, yeah. I worked for the city for almost 38 years
Wow. Congratulations to
Yeah.
you. That's great.
in planning for cities. I've worked for 2 other cities in planning for 46.
Wow.
Wow.
So time to retire.
Oh my gosh.
Yay for
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Congrats.
Well, fill us in on party
Yes.
scheduling and,
My last day is December 1st. So,
oh my
Okay.
gosh, wow.
Wow. Congratulations.
well, thanks.
Yes,
Thanks.
absolutely. And thank you.
Yeah,
for your
I've
service
worked
to
with the
city.
commission from the beginning. I've been the
Wow.
staff liaison since it was created in 1989.
Oh my gosh.
That's
wow.
great. You're a piece of history.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, that only
We'll
positively.
put him
right?
on the
Yes, right.
tour Saturday.
Yeah.
Stand him out on the corner somewhere.
Yeah. And I
Yep.
think you'll generally find from most folks that retirement is the best gig ever.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Be a big change.
excellent. Great.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
that's big
wow.
news.
Any ideas on who is going to step into your role?
I'm leaving that up to the director.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much for all of your service
Oh,
to
you're
the
welcome.
commission and to the city over the years.
Yeah, it's been interesting,
Greatly appreciated.
Worked with, I don't know how many different commission members, many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's always been the commission's always been good.
Well, thank you. Wow. With that, is there any motion to adjourn?
I move.
All second, all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to adjourn at 6:42-ish, thereabouts. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thank you.